How do Blach Talks come about? Who are they produced by? I went to interview the video production class to learn more about what's going on behind the scenes and the purpose of Blach Talks. In addition, I interviewed both a teacher and a student to get an outsider perspective.
In case they want to get into film in their future, I think this class is going to help them with more of their skill.
Giving them more what we call visual literacy, like thinking about the shots and how those things contribute to a story. I think it also helps students plan for projects. It's a lot of fun. You guys all see what we work on, and so if that's something that you enjoy, then I would totally recommend that class.
I would, because it's a fun class and it enhances your knowledge on other things like photography. There isn't really anything that I dislike about it.
In a Blach Talk, there are usually 3 or 4 different segments. Each of them is constructed by one of the groups in my class. So each of those segments takes about 3 to 4 weeks to produce. So students plan out what they want to do. Sometimes they have to do a little bit of research, write interview questions, write a script. They plan out how they're going to shoot every scene, and then they go and shoot it, what we call the production process, and then the post-production process, where they take all their footage, they edit it, put it together. This is, I think, my 3rd year teaching video. And I do like teaching video. It's my favorite class. It's one of my favorite classes because students really get to explore their creativity. We get to show our projects to the whole school. So yeah, I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, I find them interesting, just every Wednesday, just to see what people are doing and see what different type of things are in the school and what you can do with your free electives and periods.
I do. I think the Blach Talks are just a really great way to end the day on a Wednesday.
I think Blach Talks are important because, for a couple reasons. It gives my students a chance to showcase their work, but also for the different stories we tell about campus. It's good to share some different things that are happening around the school that most students might not necessarily know about.
I think Blach Talks are important to the school because they teach different kids about different electives, and they open doors to different stuff people want to do, and they showcase student work, and it kind of just brings everyone together in the school.
I think one thing I've noticed is that I would have students in my class, my science classes, that are shy and reserved, and then I see them up on the screen, and they are so different.
Blach Talks may seem short, but they take a long time to create. They have a planning, filming, and editing phase. Through creating Blach Talks, students learn valuable skills such as visual literacy, planning, and film production that they can carry with them throughout their lives. Blach Talks are also very powerful. Video production students get a chance to show off their work, and everyone learns more about Blach. If you are interested in learning more about film, consider taking photography, video production as an 8th grader, or intro to journalism as a 9th grader.
Have you ever wondered what your teachers do in their spare time? In this segment, you'll learn about the different activities your teachers do in their extra time, when they do it, why they do it, the amount of preparation involved, where their activity takes place, who they do the activity with, and what they do after the activity. We interviewed Mrs. Crone, Mr. Dewberry, Mr. Hu, and Mrs. Shepard to get their perspective on this subject.
I do have a couple afternoons a week that I usually have some spare time. I definitely have a little bit on the weekends, and of course the vacations.
I have spare time usually later in the evenings and on the weekends.
I have spare time on the weekends usually, not really during the week.
Usually on the weekends, on Friday afternoons.
When I have vacations, what I love to do with my free time is take road trips with my family.
I like to go fly fishing.
There's a couple things I like to do in my free time. I like to cook. I like to ride my motorcycle.
I love to take pictures. I love photography.
Really just it's a combination of just being out in the outdoors and doing some hiking and the hunt of trying to get a fish.
I just do things that I enjoy. I mean, when I cook, it's usually because I need food for the week.
I have a need to do the activity. It's just something I really enjoy. So I always have my phone with me, and when I see something I really like, I take a picture of it.
The road trips, I'm not a native Californian. I wasn't born and raised here, so I find California fascinating, and so jumping in the car with our family and putting on a good playlist and taking snacks and just going off and exploring different parts of California is really fun for us.
I do that activity to relax. It doesn't involve a lot of thinking. It's just nice being outdoors and where there aren't a lot of people.
Okay, so with cooking, I just enjoy it. I watched a lot of Food Network growing up.
I just love photography, and I love nature, and so I specifically enjoy taking pictures of nature.
I started fly fishing, I guess a little bit after college. A friend of mine from college introduced me to it.
It's something that we've been doing for a long time. Yeah.
And an interest of mine, something I've enjoyed doing. Perhaps I became more interested in photography from my travels, vacations that I've gone on and traveling in Europe.
Map out the route. I schedule which hotels we're going to stay at, what we need to take along with us. There's a lot of planning for that.
Make sure I've got my fishing license, I've got my equipment, and lots of extra flies, which are like the lures you would use. They're called flies. Lots of extras because I lose a lot of them.
And get groceries. You got to think about what you want to make. Sometimes I know what I want to make ahead of time, so I know what to buy. But sometimes I just go to the grocery store and just see what's good, and then try and make a dish, based on what I see there.
Don't really prepare. It's just take out my phone, turn it on when I see an opportunity, something that I do like, and I want to capture it.
My husband and I go for sure, and if our daughter is available, she goes along with us. She's a senior in college right now, so she has limited time.
Typically with my one friend from college, we make a lot of, make sure that we're fishing at least once a year.
Sometimes I do it with friends, sometimes I do it by myself. Most of the time I probably just cook by myself.
I don't do it with anyone really, just when I'm by myself.
After the road trip, it just depends. That's usually when I have to head back to work.
You gotta eat it.
Enjoy the pictures. I don't do anything, yeah.
Grab some dinner, rest the feet, and hopefully prepare for another day of fishing.
Hopefully you now know a little bit more about your teachers' interests and hobbies. In their free time, Mrs. Crone goes on road trips with her family, Mr. Dewberry goes fly fishing, Mr. Who cooks, and Mrs. Shepherd takes photos of nature. Maybe this segment will inspire you to take up one of these activities.